Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory be to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak, Kodash. And I want to say double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And shalom to the hopeful elect out there listening and learning and teaching this word in sincerity and truth. In the hopes that we may edify and feed the lambs of Yahweh Shai, especially in these last days. And boy, are we in the last days. You know, the handwriting's on the wall, so to speak, because you had the ancient, Babylonian Empire. When that handwriting came on the wall, that was it. Many tekel, and we're in that time, the modern day Babylonians, or Babylon the Great, which is America. The handwriting is on the wall for them. And how do we know that? Because we measure in the time diligently, just like the scriptures told us to do. Just when the disciples, when they conversed with Yahweh Shai and they asked him, when shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Because the scriptures say Esau is the end of the world, 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, right? So the Edomites, are ruling in this time, all right? And the Edomites are the wicked. Malachi 1 and 4 goes into that. Malachi chapter 1 verse 4, okay? That shows you who the biblical Edomites are, the people who the Lord, hates. Okay, and they've been given rulership over the earth. Remember, the scriptures speak about the basis of men. The Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and setteth up over it the basis of men. Setteth up over it whomsoever he will, basically. It's that Daniel 4 and 17. All right, but now we're in that time where this wicked ass empire is about to come crashing down. Now, America is, it's a vast empire. Scriptures call America the hammer of the whole earth. They have an extremely powerful military, and pretty much they've been bossing their allies around for the longest time, bossing other nations around for the longest time. That goes into what? Whose look was more stout than his fellows. That's the pride of America. But dealing with their pride, Obadiah 1 and let me see if I can get it. Obadiah 1 and 3. It says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And they love building them skyscrapers. They love, and when I say they, I'm talking about these Edomites. This is their kingdom. All right, and they where they feel at home is when they're dwelling in caves. That's why they love rock climbing so much. These so-called Caucasians, these mountain dwellers, these cave dwellers that dwelleth in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high. Okay? And symbolic also of their pride. That saith in his heart, which the Hebrew word for heart is lab, which means the mind. Who shall bring me down to the ground? You see that? So you see Esau is proud, man. Esau is so proud. Just like, all the previous empires, they were proud to a certain extent. Well, you had when Pharaoh, king, of Egypt of old, got destroyed by the Lord, he was proud. The Lord hardened his heart. All right, but then what happened? The Lord played his kingdom. Okay, the Lord destroyed his armies and drowned them in the Red Sea, the Gulf of Suez. All right, which is a part of the Red Sea. All right, so it don't matter how high and mighty you feel that you are inside, in your head, how proud you are. The scripture says clearly that the Lord has appointed a bounds that you cannot pass. All right, and you're fast approaching those bounds, man. What is it, Job 14? I believe it's 14 and 5. It says, seeing his days are determined. Whose days? Esau, the wicked. Right? The number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So Esau's been appointed bounds that he just can't pass. Let's look at that word bounds. So the Lord's appointed you bounds, man. All right. His bounds. All right. And it says statute ordinance, limit, something prescribed, due, a prescribed task, prescribed portion. All right, so Esau has a limit to how far he can go in his kingdom. All right, his kingdom is limited. You know, you got that movie Limitless. That's how we're gonna be in the kingdom, open to everything, tapped in. You know, in the spirit. You know, we're gonna have all the wisdom, all the knowledge. You know, we're gonna be able to fly. We're gonna be super Israelites, super men, super women, super babies. We're gonna be flying around, and we're gonna have, you know, we're gonna live for forever. We're gonna be immortal. All right. But you see, Esau, he's been appointed limits, man. He's been appointed bounds in his kingdom. See, this is his kingdom, and basically his kingdom is just his kingdom is like a counterfeit. It's like a knockoff, because Esau, you know, he's all butthurt about the birthright. Remember, the scriptures speak about, though he sought it carefully with tears. When he sold his birthright to our forefather Jacob, you know, he bitched up about that. You know, he lifted up his voice and wept. Did he not? And ever since, he's been trying to get that birthright back. And this kingdom that we're living in right now is an example of how he's trying to play the Most High, by chipping everybody, by wanting to play God. Okay, by trying to push you know that song, push it to the limit. You know, Esau's trying to push it to the limit, man. But the point is, he's got a limit. All right, he ain't limitless. Okay, it says a prescribed limit, a boundary. Right? It says an enactment, decree, ordinance, specific decree. So Esau's been he's been prescribed a boundary, man. A boundary is something that you just can't go beyond. All right. What does the scripture say? The vision is yet for an appointed time. So there's gonna come an appointed time, you know, for Esau's kingdom to be kaput, to be done. All right, to be finished, for him to go smashing into a brick wall and find out where his bounds are, which has been placed in front of him by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, the Lord, the Most High, ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. So what we're witnessing is the downfall of this wicked empire. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you a little bit. This is and I believe this to be Darbu 7. His channel is now called Surviving End Times. And it says, this was put up 23 hours ago. Get ready. Invaders are approaching U.S. bases, taking pictures of special forces colonels home. All right. They are being invaded. All right. And this is all being done by design. Because remember, the scripture says, you know, that we're not supposed to be ignorant to Satan's devices. Okay. So let me hold that scripture. I'm going to hold that scripture right there. And I'm going to play you a little bit of this right here.
Oh. We have an incident that just took place outside of Fort Liberty, former Fort Bragg in North Carolina, where we have 2 illegal migrants that were spying on a special forces colonel, snapping photos of his family and his kids, and he caught them. There was a confrontation. He shot and killed one of them.
And the things are heating up. All right, these immigrants now they're getting they're doing what they're doing. They're straight up spying on, you know, American military. All right, colonels and so on and so forth. Turning up at military bases with drones. He's gonna go on to tell you that at least 3 times a week they be showing up with these drones and taking pictures. And what are they doing? What are they taking pictures for? What's being planned? You see, we got to watch for these things. We got to understand what's going on. You know, the scriptures speak about, you know, seeing then that you walk circumspectly as wise and not as fools. All right. And ultimately, what's Esau got planned? Remember, he needs the perfect excuse to be able to beat people to their knees, to accepting whatever decree he pushes out, which is going to be the chip, right? In order for stability within these cities. All right, but we're here to tell you, the prophets are here to tell you, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, we're here to tell you that things are going to get worse. Okay, because biblical prophecy states that so. Okay, like you're going to have famines out here. You're going to have people taking the law into their own hands, taking matters into their own hands. You're going to have anarchy. You know, you're going to have hyperinflation. You're going to have World War III popping off. But before that kicks off, these chipping stations are going to be set up. Guillotine, firing squad, all kinds of torture mechanisms are going to be used on those that deny the mark of the beast. That's why the scriptures speak about that in 2 Ezra 16, that there shall be a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord, which are the Israelites. All right? And the elect, remember the scripture says, some of you shall be cast into prison, and you shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. All right, so this is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. So we got to be circumspect. The word circumspect means to look around. All right, you got the word circle and spectate. Not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. All right, the word evil means a bad time. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And you know something? It's the will of the Lord that Jacob's trouble happens. It's the will of the Lord that the time on the earth is going to be the worst time ever since there was a nation. That's the will of the Lord. That's why these things are brewing in the background. While everyone else is out here partying and bullshitting, distracted, bread and circusing, you know, in that YOLO spirit, getting up to all kinds of mischief and abominable acts. You know, judgment is being prepared. The sword is being sharpened. Esau is preparing an invasion of America behind the scenes. Okay? And they done put the battery on the back of these Arabs, which the word Arab means mixed. You got a lot of these, you know, the scriptures speak about the dragons of Arabia and the Carmenians. They're going to be at your ass. Okay? They're going to be sending people over here. You know, you got people on terrorist watch lists that have crossed the borders because of the Biden administration, which they set it up. These presidents are selected. They're not elected. They're put in there for a reason. To destabilize, right, the so-called normality that you've been experiencing in the land of America. But guess what? It's done. And a kingdom divided shall not be able to stand. Okay, so we're at that time. Okay, where Esau's hitting his limitations. He's hitting his bounds. He is not limitless. He has a limit. And the signs of his limit, right, popping up are all these prophecies that we're seeing play before our very eyes. And this is what we got to report on.
This is a big deal because other colonels, other people are going on like Fox News, and they're saying that this is a huge threat. They're in here, they're spying on our top level generals at their homes. Here.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, man. One people shall stand up. And I'm going to get that scripture because he's going to go on to say, hang on, let me see what, because he kind of, what are you waiting for? wait.
Show up there and they seem to be the forward unit of this invasion, whatever excuse they give. They do have passports, the ones that show up there, and they seem to be the forward unit of this invasion. Of course, we know there's millions in here at this point.
So this is actually being called an invasion. Words getting around that this is actually being called an invasion, straight up. And why do you think Esau's allowing this to happen? Why do you think they're just allowing, I think there's something about 45 million. You know, one video that I came across, there's one guy, he mentioned about 45 billion, I think, immigrants have now crossed the border and are pretty much have their feet on American soil. You know, they don't know who's who. They don't know what's what. You know, the Americans pretty much, they're running around like headless chickens trying to figure out what's going on with the Biden administration. But it's called Ordo ab chaos. The chaos is being prepared for a reason. And we've been telling you this. You know, the perfect chaotic situation, all right, to maintain order and stability. All right, but it's going to come at a cost. All right.
They are also stating that they are rolling up on our bases with drones 2 to 3 times a week. Incursions. So our bases.
So these immigrants, they're rolling up to the military bases with drones. Where do they get the drones from? What are they doing? You know, why are they taking pictures of top level military personnel? What are they doing? What's going on? Special forces colonel's home. They're rolling up there, taking pictures of military bases, flying drones around them. Something's being prepared. Something's being planned. All right? Maybe it's time for that perfect chaotic situation to play out. All right? And we've been saying, you know, in the next Black Swan event, like a major T attack is on the horizon. You know, America should be at its highest alert for a T attack right now. I don't even know what the terrorist alert is at the moment right now. All right. In fact, we can just look it up right now. Let's see where it's at. American terror. Let me see. American current terror. Terror. Let's see if we put in terror level. Right. So it says the United States Homeland Security Advisory Team threat level is currently at yellow, elevated, indicating a significant risk of T attacks. All right, that's the current level in the US. It's elevated. All right. So things ain't you know, Americans are on the edge right now, and they should be, because you know, things are about to pop off. But you know what? The elect, see, we want shit to pop off. We want shit to go down through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Because the more chaotic the situation gets out here, the faster that Esau's going to move with that mark of the beast. All right? Then the hour of temptation, the faster Yahweh Shai's return. You know? Like the apostles always say, stop dragging your feet. Esau, just get on with it, man. I'll be honest with you, man. I can't take, like, this kingdom is just, it's boring, it's wicked. I mean, you know, you just live to work. You got to pay stupid ass bills, subject to payments. It's just, come on, man. Just do away with it. It's wicked. This kingdom, man, I want to see the limit of Esau's kingdom. I want to see it pushed to the limit. We should want to see it pushed to the limit. We ain't trying to make our bed in Babylon. The scripture says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Let's get Micah 2:1. Is it Micah 2:1? No, 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. This place is hella polluted. Come on, you got grown-ass men cross-dressing. You know, you got women that are taking the role of men, getting all up in a man's face. You know, compassing the authority of a man. You know? The food is defiled. You got forever chemicals in you know, in everybody on the planet, which is causing higher rates of cancer. Esau is his death. This guy has got to go. He's spraying chemtrails in the air, pushing out genetically modified foods, which is a part of biblical prophecy. What was that? Ezekiel 4:13. That we should eat our bread defiled among the Gentiles. So this is what we're experiencing because it's the will of the Lord. Understanding what the will of the Lord is. We just read that in Ephesians 5. So this is all the will of the Lord, man. So this terror threat at elevated, it's at cold yellow. It's at elevated, man. So this is you know, this is like shaking people up. Look what's going on. But the average peon out there, they ain't watching alternative news like this. They don't even care. They just want to, as long as they can turn their lights on, you know, have their gas flowing through their stove, you know, go to the football game, do this, do that. As long as they can do these things, they're cool. They you know, they're happy. You know, everything's normality. But then when the first wave came, and then everyone was in lockdown, that's when people wanted to start realizing, hold on a minute, something's changed. All of a sudden, Esau told you can go back outside, and now everything's gone back to normal. I'm talking about the mindsets of the people. Come on, man.
Incursions. So our bases are getting infiltrated by drones, and these dudes are rolling up on them in packs. And they're rolling up on our colonels at their homes, spying on them. Hello? How much more are people waiting for? What are you waiting for? Them to show up at your house? Taking pictures?
Hello? You know? Yeah, I like this guy. Hello? What are you waiting for? You know? So look, man, you're gonna have them like the movie Civil War. You're gonna have civil war out here, man. Okay, things are gonna get so chaotic. It's gonna be crazy. Check this out.
Like, dude, you better get ready. You better get it all ready, locked and loaded, everything that you got. You better get with your neighbors. You better get plans together. They're here.
Well, fuck the neighbors, man. The neighbors are gonna be turning on each other. What are you talking about? We can get it in the scriptures. See, you guys, you see these people out here, these preppers, that prepper type spirit. That look, man. Come on, man. The spirit behind that is pure carnality. You know, this is what I'm saying. These people they don't know what's coming, right? So let's read this. It's 2 Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be, in fact, let me start from 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. You see that? So one group of people is going to stand up and fight against another group of people. You know? Bludgeoning each other to death, shooting each other, you know, hacking each other to pieces. This is what's going to be happening out here. Okay, Jacob's trouble. All right, the sword is being sharpened. Esau and his military, they're going to be like madmen, sparing none. There's swords in their hands, the one people and the other people. Straight opposition. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. So they're calling this an invasion. Is this not being called an invasion? And invading one another. So America's being invaded. Right? You got these immigrants turning up with drones. You got immigrants turning up to colonels' houses, man. That's an invasion. And America's been invaded. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. They're going to do what they got to do. You know, complete anarchy, lawlessness. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Yeah, checkpoints. Okay, because that's what Esau's going to be setting up, them checking stations. Like they showed you in a movie like I Am Legend or Songbird. You know, you had checking stations. I remember there was a scene in the movie Songbird, and that geezer that was a delivery bike rider, he was riding from place to place delivering, and he hit a checkpoint. And the soldiers, they were pointing a gun at him, and he was like, I'm immune, because there was a virus at that time in the movie. And he held up his wristband, and that, you know, pretty much allowed him to pass. But that's going to come in, you picture that wristband being the chip, and if you ain't got that chip, you know, you're going to have to be off the grid. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. You know, the houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. Yeah, because these people are hella proud, especially in these cities. They take things for granted. Remember, the word city goes back to what? You got the word metropolis, which goes back to what? Mother city. Elder Apostle Gabar brought that out. That's the first time I heard it. You know? Metropolis goes back to mother city. And these cities are catered to women, man. You know, easy access, you know, shop till you drop type spirit. Women love that. Shopping and that. Would you like this bag? Would you like colour suits me? Does my bum look big in this? You know, they be trying shit out in the mirror and shit all the time. You know, can I return this? You always see women in them shops. Can I just return this? Can I exchange it? Indecisive as hell, all up in the shops, you know, picking up hangers, putting hangers back, you know, picking things up, putting it to their breasts and looks like a good fit on me. I mean, come on, man, these cities are just proud, man. Everything's at, you know, your fingertips, is the convenience, everything's there. You can go to the supermarket. You know, you can just buy packeted meat. You can buy lamb, beef, chicken, and fish all on the same day, all within the same minute. You can put that in your shopping cart. You can get it scanned, you know, and you put it in your boot. Unlock the car, you know what I'm saying? You put it in your boot. You lock the car. You drive to your fucking driveway, and then you put the shit in the freezer, and then you just eat through it throughout the week. And then you do the same shit the next week, or if you know. If you ain't eating it all in that week, you know, the next fortnight, then you're back in there doing the same shit. Okay? So these cities are proud, man. People that are full of, you got impatient people, and that impatience is going to explode, especially when, the convenience stores are no longer open, especially when you can't get, you have a lack of availability of food and water in these cities. That's when people are going to explode. Let's read the next verse. "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." And you know what shows you that? That documentary called Blackout 2013. Set over here in the UK, man. And when it all goes down, you got to watch neighbors watching what you're bringing into your house, and they're always watching each other and that. Peering out, "Hey neighbor." They might be climbing over the fence, having a little chin wag. "Yeah, I was gonna do that to my garden. I've seen it, man." Creepy ass neighbors. I just keep myself to my fucking self. I don't really talk to people much because I don't like these demons, man. But you see how they interact. These fucking creeps. They got spirits on them. You don't even want to deal with them. And you can see that they try and, they give you a little fake smile if you catch their eye. But sometimes I just don't even look at them because I don't even want them to have eye contact with me because it's like an opening to speak. I don't want to fucking speak to you people, man. Opening portals. Now all of a sudden my life is ruined because I done said hello to your creepy ass. Listen to this. "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor." Now what did Dabu just say, man?
Pictures? Like, dude, you better get ready. You better get it all ready, locked and loaded, everything that you got. You better get with your neighbors.
Get with your neighbors? What about when your neighbors got nothing left and you got, and they want what you got? At that time, what does the scripture say? "Shall friends fight one?" Let me get it. 2nd Ezra 6. 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and 23. Right? It says, let me start from 22. "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." Yeah, all these supermarkets, all of these factories, that be housing the stock for these supermarkets. Okay. What about in a blackout? What about if there was an extended blackout and all the meat goes bad because the grid's been shut down? Now you ain't gonna have freezers, fridges running. All this shit that people are taking for granted. Traffic lights. There's gonna be chaos on them roads. People getting run over. People getting fucking wedged in between two SUVs. People getting, just run over, man, by a fucking 4-wheel drive. Big ass wagons and that. People just getting, you can see it happening. And people, they drive crazy even when the traffic lights are fully functioning. So imagine when the blackout happens and people are opportunists. They're going to be going crazy, driving in these stupid ass vehicles. You're going to have people driving on curbs just to get around because they're impatient as they are. They're going to be panicking. People are going to be mounting curbs. You can see it. You can fucking see the calamity that's going to come and hit these cities. Once the Lord, because that's the will of the Lord, once the Lord opens up and allows all chaos to roll through, them spirits that are created for vengeance, mentioned in Sirach 39 and 28. Come on, man. When these things happen, that's when these people are going to fucking consider what it is. Okay? It says, "And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid. And at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies." That's what I'm talking about. So at that time, friends are going to fight against each other, man. You better get with your neighbors. No, these people are going to... Now, you're going to have factions. People are going to get together and that for... you're going to have certain people getting together. But for the most part, the average city dweller ain't going to have a fucking idea of what to do when all hell breaks loose. And they're going to be turning and looking at their neighbors. And their neighbors will be looking at their neighbors and so on and so forth. So all out chaos is coming, man. And you Jakes, man, all up in the hood. Living in these tower blocks and that. You're going to be pouring out of them. All right, looking for food. You're going to have these Jakes just like wild as hell out there on them streets. Taking each other out. Okay?
You better get plans together. They're here. Enemies here. because they've been sold out. They brought them here. So you better get the training. You better be taking your extra time, your extra money. You better get ready. This ain't no...
When you say you've been sold out, they brought them here. So he's pretty much letting you know that America has been sold out.
No joke. They're here.
Okay? Because remember, now it's time for the chaos. Because they need to establish that order. Now we can get Revelation 12 and 12 and 2nd Ezra 2 and 11, and we can close out here. Therefore rejoice, this is Revelation chapter 12 verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time. So Esau knows that his time is short. He sees the chariots, man. He sees the signs. He sees the prophets out there. You think the elites ain't watching, you know, the prophets of the Lord? Of course they're watching. Okay, and they're prophesying about the downfall of his kingdom, about the limit of his kingdom. And he's coming to that limit. He's been appointed bounds that he cannot pass. And that's what the prophets are there to tell him. All right, the next stop for these elites, the wicked elites of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, right? The next stop for them is hardcore slavery. Okay? So Esau knows he's got but a short time. So that's why he's moving with that wrath. Okay, remember, they shall be like madmen sparing none, which is really the wrath of the Lord. And he's going to use Esau, right, to punish you wicked ass Israelites as well, man. That's why the King David said what? Psalm 17 and 13. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Esau is the sword of the Lord on the left-hand side. The Most High's whipping stick. 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Okay? So we should not supposed to be ignorant to the devices of Satan. What this guy is doing behind the scenes. The physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan are these Edomites. All right? And they have their devices that they're going to push out. And this is just another device that they're going to push out. All right? And they're going to decree these unrighteous decrees. They're going to push out that chip, which is the ultimate device on the left-hand side that they're going to use in order to declare, for you to declare your badge of servitude to Esau, for you to worship them. Now you do that, basically you're saying, look, Lord, you can't save me. Only Esau can save me. So then now the Lord can't deliver your ass because you done took the chip. That's the mark of the beast. And if anyone that don't believe it, man, just do a cartwheel off a cliff. You know? Go take a long walk, man. Somewhere, you know? Because we're only doing this video for the believers, man. And we got to get ready, you know? Spiritually ready. Know what this guy is talking about, because he ain't got no hope, because he's just, you know, he's in that prepping spirit. You know? Hey, but can the Lord wake him up? Hey, you never know. You know? Hey, the elect are the elect, man. And Lord willing, we are of the elect. And that's why we're doing what the Lord told us to do. You know? But you got these videos out there, these alternative news media platforms, get ready, invaders are... They be talking about an invasion. They be talking about these invasions, man. 45 million, I believe, the number is around thereabouts. Immigrants, illegal immigrants that have crossed the border and standing on American soil. All out chaos. All the web chaos is here. All right, so with that, man, I pray you were edified. You know, on to the next one. Shalom.